The problem was clear, the solution was easy to implement using Gen AI, and we just dove in. Back then, I used to think like an investor, so I chose healthcare because it felt stable. You do it once and it will continue on forever. I opened it, I saw Ekathon, I registered. I did not think much at the time.
Got it.
Then later, as we went through the documentation, things started to make sense. The center of the data flow is what the doctor writes. So
Mhm.
one, let's say module or a mini product that we have is tablet-based prescriptions using which doctors can write and information gets shared to the patient, gets analyzed by AI. So that part is that we want to cover. The moment you give a demo, it is dead.
Okay.
So that's something that was a very hard learning. Took multiple years to get there.
Right.
The better hospitals like Eye Care and all, they
Mhm.
have a much lower denial rate, but
Okay.
they still struggle to get the documents from the patient. So that is
Mhm.
actually engineering, but no one has done it right. So some people might have, but because the
Okay.
systems are scattered,
So define your solution in one punchline.
and let AI handle health. Humans make mistakes.
Hi, Manik. How are you?
Hi Jitesh, I'm doing good. How are you?
All good, all good. So Rahul is also here. It can be a totally candid conversation. Nothing super formal. So I think we'll first start by knowing a bit about you. Maybe a small intro, and if you want to add more details of your team members who have helped you along, you can discuss those as well in this.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So it all started after around the time I graduated.
Okay.
So during my final year, final SEM, I was a part of Digital Impact Square in Nasik, which is a TCS Foundation initiative. Over there also we were doing entrepreneurship, but the problem that I got was geriatric.
Okay.
So not exactly healthcare, but it was
Mhm.
keeping the elderly engaged in the economy instead of a simple retirement. It was life after retirement. So that's when I
Got
understood that the primary reason people retire is because they grow old, and the definition of growing old is your body not being able to perform as it used to.
right.
That's when I got into healthcare.
Mhm.
COVID also happened the same time, back in 2020.
Mhm.
So in 2021, I was already a part of the PhD in
Okay.
medical technologies, which is jointly offered by AIMS IIT. So
Okay.
I was a little bit on the cardio, a little bit on the psychiatry, behavioral aspects. Then, after a couple of years, once we had the team ready, so it was a slightly different team back then. There was me, there was Yashraj, the co-founder, and we took part in GDC by IIT Madras. And during the
Okay.
stakeholder interview,
Got it.
what I realized is that these hospitals are losing a lot of money because their claims are getting denied. And
Got
before
it.
that, the
Just
one
to
thing,
go a bit one step behind. So right now, the team is different, or you still have the team along with you?
so Yashraj and I are still working and we are focusing on the medical side. We also had
Got
Jyoti in the team, who is a psychologist, but on the psychology side, we haven't been able to quantify things properly. Whatever we have quantified, we already have a competitor, so we haven't gone all in into that. Meanwhile,
got
this
it.
is a side where even though there are competitors, we are well positioned. We have all the relevant data. We have done all the quantification. This one happened first. So
Right.
with this done, once we had clarity, we just moved all in. We tried to pivot a few times, but we never succeeded to pivot. This is very funny thing that I find. That no matter how hard we try to pivot, we end up doing the same thing. I don't know
Nice.
how it works anymore. I used to think you think about pivot and you pivot. We do the same thing even after that.
Mm-hmm.
In one of the deals, like we were about to give up on one of the projects.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, we said that now we are pivoting. We are not going to do the deal. A couple of days later, I texted, okay, let's wrap it up. We pivoted back into the same thing. We only changed the position. So I don't know how it works anymore.
Just if, before going into a bit details, maybe for the audience who will be watching this, if you could just very quickly define your problem point that you are targeting to solve, the solution that you had in mind and the kind of impact that you're visualizing, let's say, in a 5 to 7 year timeline.
Hmm. So we kind of do it the backward way. So we start by planning what we want in the future, and then we figure out what should be the first step towards that.
Uh, Hello.
And the way we see ourselves is sitting on the data flows. We want to sit on medical data flow as well as the money flow. And that is where the company is positioned. So we started off with the money flow, which is the claims, and that was easy to quantify also. The problem was clear, the solution was easy to implement using Gen AI, and we just dove in. Since we were already tied up with AIMS, we are very well positioned to validate the models that we have made. And over the next 5 years, we do see that we will be in a very strong position within India also and across the borders also. Hmm.
Inspired you to basically go deeper into this? We discussed very briefly on your journey during your PhD days and the work you were doing around the geriatric field. But any specific
Hmm.
incident or any specific point which made you feel that this is it and this is what you want to pursue and build upon?
So there were two things. One was a simple thing that AI and tech is too chaotic. Back then, I used to think like an investor. So I chose healthcare because it felt stable. You do it once and it will continue on forever. The more important thing was my family. What I realized is that even if they are fit, they don't do whatever is required. They were too non-compliant, overdosing on medicines, not working out when they are fit, and then losing all the health altogether, suffering from arthritis because they did not manage their health in the first place. It was a very funny scenario. Not funny, but like it just did not make any sense. So
Mhm.
that was a major reason why I chose healthcare. The solution was very clearly visible, but the people were not using the solution. That's why I chose the PhD in that. And I wanted to figure out how to make a business out of it anyways. That's why
For sure.
joining medtech.
And when did you hear about Ekathon and what was your first reaction? Did you have something in mind in terms of how Eka would fit into this solution?
So I knew about Eka for a very long time.
Mhm.
I just never figured out that we could actually be working together. Very recently, I was given the URL to Ekathon, to Eka Care by my PhD supervisor. I think he expected me to use your APIs or
Okay.
maybe look at you as a competitor. He did not even describe anything. He just shared the link. I opened it, I saw Ekathon, I registered. I did not think much at the time.
Got it.
Then later, as we went through the documentation, things started to make sense.
Nice. And just to go a bit deeper on this, how are you now planning to use Eka's APIs for enabling your startup?
So we were planning to get ourselves into ABDM. That is the obvious step, right?
Right.
We had developed all the way till M4, not very stable though. We haven't given the demo,
Mhm.
and we also want to get the NHCX and DHIS
Mhm.
because as I mentioned, we want to sit on the data flows. And in healthcare, the center of the data flow is what the doctor writes.
Mhm.
So one, let's say, module or a mini product that we have is tablet-based prescriptions, using which doctors can write and information gets shared to the patient, gets analyzed by AI. So that part is that we want to cover. What
Got
is experienced by a human upon the physical examination, upon the video conversation, but in the actual medical diagnostic detail, the critical data inside healthcare, that is what we want to capture through this product.
And right now, you have any doctors actively using this product for creating prescriptions?
Yes, we have a deal with a company called Swasthya Sathi,
Okay,
and they have 1,000 patients every week roughly right now.
massive. Pretty good scale. And what kind of resistance did you face from doctors while pushing them to adopt to the product?
So, first is that they want a demo. But what we realized over time is do not give the demo. The moment you give a demo, it is dead.
Okay.
So that's something that was a very hard learning. Took multiple years to get there. Do not give the demo. Anyways, we are engineers. We are asked to give the demo to each other, but not
Right.
giving the demo is the
But then
first and
how do
foremost thing.
you kind of convince the doctor to start or, to basically buy into the product without a demo? Is it like a self-explain, self-help product where doctors can go through and start using it themselves?
That's what we aim for. One of the main challenges that we faced is that it was not self-explanatory.
Okay.
So over time, what we realized is that demos should be left for later. First, we have to identify the right problem which nobody else is solving. So the two problems that we identified were the insurance claims because that is a financial matter and very valid in public health. The other one was the fact that digitizing the emergency department is another hard challenge. So we took our medical legal based solution. It is almost developed, not stable yet, not given to the police either. So in medical legal matters, what happens is that there are different people involved, and quality of data is even more imperative, even more important. You have to prove genuineness of every document, so
Right.
that decisions can be made. It has to be as clear enough to be considered evidence.
Mhm. Right.
So
And generally, when we see the healthcare delivery, this entire claim processing has always been kind of a bottleneck, right? Uh,
mhm.
Considering the last couple of years, or let's say post 2022, how do you see AI, or what areas do you see AI coming in and changing or easing out things so much that this bottleneck starts becoming better and people actually start actively utilizing services?
So what I noticed during the hackathon is that all half the people were collecting history, one,
Mhm,
and solving some a diagnostic problem.
mhm.
And what I don't see happening within the next 5 years is AI giving the final diagnosis. AI might advise, but nobody
Right.
cares about that advice, neither the patient nor the clinician.
Mhm,
So during the PhD, I also did a study on MI patients. So patients reporting to the emergency room with
mhm.
chest pain or confirmed myocardial infarction. And we had a
Okay.
small questionnaire in the form of a chatbot, and we were trying
Mhm,
to see whether it is able to identify what is going right, what is going wrong. And we identified there are too many issues that AI is not designed around as of now. The way
okay.
patients express their pain, the way patients change their answers. It is
Mhm,
almost a very complicated legal analysis. So AI is getting good at these matters. It is getting good at the reasoning ability, but it still doesn't have the eyes and the ears to understand what the patient is saying, and it can't even
mhm,
explain it back itself back. The moment there is a
mhm.
mistake, it will accept it as naively as possible. So
Got
that
it.
is another thing that we are building in the lab.
Hmm. But specifically more towards the insurance claims processes, is there any particular gap you feel which can be very quickly and easily filled in by AI today?
Yes, it is the administrative thing. So uh, getting the data into the system, that is the first and foremost most important thing. And the resistance is getting the data first, not for training, but actually getting the doctor to use the system that checks for the AI. And the way people are over engineering it, using voice enabled and all that whatnot, I don't know. That is a distraction from all of this. Just get the doctor to enter the diagnosis and the treatment. That is all that matters.
But what incentive does the doctor have to, let's say, shift from paper to pen in this case? If it basically becomes like an administrative task for the doctor, which adds a lot of time, do you feel there'd be resistance or the adoption in this case can be slower in like if it is just a laptop based EMR or a iPad based EMR?
So what I feel is that clinicians use paper because it is efficient in context switching. With a
Mhm.
laptop, you can type very fast, good. But on a prescription, you don't type that much. You just write one word. So it is more of context switching. You are dealing with a patient, suddenly you write down something, and you're back to the patient. You don't even look at the paper sometimes. That's why the bad handwriting happens. You're so focused on the patient. And laptops
Right.
are a distraction. There is something between you and the patient. Blocking even blocks the view. The people dealing is there, and we have to design it. So it is more of a HCI, human computer interaction problem, not just AI. And the moment we solve that, all the downstream processes like insurance claim processing, they get resolved in an instant. AI is the easy part, I believe. One of the resistance factors that you were asking about is that
Mhm.
even though we are dealing with administrative parts, so it is very safe. There is no damage that is going to happen if there is a mistake. You can always fix it later.
Mhm.
But because it is healthcare, people are so focused on accuracy that they ignore this very fact that it is safe anyways. Instead of certifications and HIPAA compliances, they are more focused upon the accuracy of the AI model. So they are
Mhm.
letting the money flow out of their pocket because they are not incentivized enough. Because the very question of safety is not being addressed by not being dealing with the safety issue at all.
Compliances. So right now, are you guys also in the process of becoming HIPAA compliant and getting all these different compliances, or you have gone through that process?
We are in the process. We have initiated it.
Or interesting. And coming back to Ekathon, so how was your entire experience of Ekathon? How did you, whether, of course, you were taking part virtually, but were you able to reach out to our tech support team over Discord channels? Were there any challenges you faced while integrating the API? How was the support overall for you?
So support side, we were quite satisfied. We the questions we had were answered fairly early. One interesting thing was that before the hackathon, we were thinking which of the projects to present. What should we position ourselves in the hackathon? So insurance claims, the most mature, the most, the one that you care about, everybody cares about. That's
Right.
the one we picked up. And in the hackathon, what we realized is the first thing that we did was the dev in our team. He was busy with another project. So he said, I have a deadline to meet. I'll start working 1 hour later. So in that 1 hour, what I was doing nothing, just asking questions from the team, your team. So that gave us a lot of clarity. What all is there that we do not have to build during the hackathon? And
Got it.
that is something that we ensured that shows during the pitch that, hey, this is what we already have, and this is what we made. We already have our server running with the AI, and we have created another dashboard in which the clinicians can upload and the patients can upload all the relevant documents that are supposed to be checked by the AI or not by the AI, depending on the scenario. And we just added more cases using your API.
And any particular API from our suite which you feel is the most important for your product or which you feel added significant value?
So the most valuable for us is are the two NHCX and DHIS, followed by Aadhaar verification, not Aadhaar API, but Aadhaar API.
Yeah,
Yes.
but not the number-based verification, rather the Aadhaar verification.
No,
Got
no,
it. Got
no. A simple Aadhaar verification, the simplest thing that we have everybody else that are doing. We just realized it during the hackathon. And that's all
it.
that we care about.
Right.
The better hospitals like Eye Care and all,
Mhm.
they have a much lower denial rate, but
Okay.
they still struggle to get the documents from the patient. So that is
Mm.
actually engineering, but no one has done it right. Some people might have, but because the systems are scattered.
Got it. Got it. Yeah. So any basically advice you'd give to other startups who are who could maybe build more solutions on top of Eka's API? Or and the second part, if you have any advice for us or Eka team in terms of the API ecosystem that we have created for you guys.
So the system looks good. We just need more APIs. If we have the right APIs, then we won't even have to worry about ABDM. Uh,
Any
Second
particular
is
feature or API that you have in your mind, which you would want us to build, like any crazy
NHCX.
HCS? Got it.
Yeah, if you give us that, all problems resolved right away.
Right.
The second is getting the functional testing done. So let's
Mhm.
say you give us the API. What next? We are still a startup. We haven't done anything much. Who is going to
Right.
do the functional testing? That is one of the biggest challenges. Our functional testing got delayed by 3 months because we were not able to raise money fast enough.
Mm. Mm.
And
Understood.
revenue is another issue over here, which is delayed. So raising money is another challenge. So everything just goes downstream. It happens much later. So if there is any support in these testing, especially testing, validation of what is there, nothing beats that.
Got it. Noted. We'll definitely make a note of both of these things. Coming back to Ismamed, what are the next steps for you guys? Are you planning to go on to build deeper use cases on Eka's API? Are you planning to refine existing use cases? How does the journey look for, let's say, next 3 to 6 months?
So first I have a question.
Mhm.
Assuming that we choose to go our own way and use the ABDM's own API, how can we
Right.
continue working with you?
So, one is that let's say ABDM, you go through the M1, M2, M3 verification, you go on and you build it. Then, of course, you should definitely use the APIs directly. There are also other API suites that are there that we can work together on. If you feel any
Hmm.
of those ones, whether it's the appointment system, appointment management system, or there is another one which is around our symptom checker APIs, another one which is around our AI services. If any of these you feel can add value to the product, we can collaborate together on that. Or otherwise,
Hmm.
uh, if you want to have a way where it could be let's say if you are going towards a particular hospital and there's a joint solution we have in mind in terms of our EMR pad getting used and
Hmm.
peripheral services being yours. That could be another way to integrate our products together.
That makes sense.
So, for example, we are very core to just the medical data that we capture. But a lot of
Hmm.
hospitals that we work with have a big requirement for IPD features as well. Now, when it comes to IPD, again, we don't want to go towards the non-medical data part of it. For example,
Hmm.
management, inventory management, all of these features we are not building in-house. So these are smaller places where we are looking to collaborate with startups. Another startup, for example, is NRT. They look after the entire communication module that we have. So if a doctor wants to engage with the patient via WhatsApp, then we've integrated with the NRT. Another one is eVitals. So basically, eVitals has entire pharmacy management module, right from billing, inventory, analytics. Again, we didn't want to build that in-house, so we just integrated with them and then have a joint solution. So in that ways, we could figure out gaps where there are some places where we have things which can complement each other's product.
Hmm. That
Uh,
sounds good. So how we see it is that obviously we can start reducing the modules that we have.
mhm,
Focus can increase more on the administrative side. Like we are very focused on the administrative side, and we do take a deep dive into the diagnostics also. But
mhm.
that is for later. We
Right,
understand. Like first, we want to get the admin done, admin and data entry
right.
by the clinician. And these are our options right now.
And is there, let's say, any particular active project where, let's say, we can just go online and read through about what we are working with, and if there are some gaps where we feel, we can pitch in, we'd love to get back to you on that. Or if there is a more detailed write-up of, your existing projects, then we can get just you can share it with us, and we'll get back to you on that as well.
That sounds good. We'll share them. We'll also
Perfect.
share the URLs to the 2 projects that are currently that have a mention online.
Okay, perfect. Done. So I think mostly we are done with the questions. We have a short rapid fire round for you. Just three questions, and then we should be in a position to wrap up. So we'll start now. So 3 questions. We'll take them quickly. So define your solution in one punchline.
And let AI handle health. Humans make mistakes.
One moment from Ekathon that you'll never forget.
When we realized that the deadline was 1 p.m. and we were still ideating what to do.
Which judge scared you the most? Like judge that you were afraid that I hope this judge doesn't ask me any question.
That did not happen.
Nothing. All were
None at
friendly.
all. We were still figuring out what to submit. Then it was our turn already.
Nice. Perfect. I think that's it from our side for now. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much, Ajitesh.
Sounds good. Okay. Thank you so much for your time, Malik.
Thank you, Ajitesh. Thank you, Rahul. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.